And he was saying to them, Verily I say to you, that there are some of those standing here who in no wise shall taste of death, until they see the kingdom of God having come in power. And after 6 days Jesus taketh along with him Peter and James and John, and bringeth them up alone into a high mountain in private, and he was transfigured before them. And his garments became shining, exceedingly white as snow, such as no fuller on the earth is able to whiten. And Elias appeared to them with Moses, and they were talking together with Jesus. And Peter answering saith to Jesus, Rabbi, it is good for us to be here, and let us make 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. For he knew not what he should say, for they were greatly afraid. And there came to be a cloud overshadowing them, and a voice came to be out of the cloud, saying, This is my Son, the beloved, be hearing him. And suddenly after they looked round about, they saw no one any more, but Jesus alone with themselves. And as they came down from the mountain, he gave them express orders that they should relate to no one what they saw, except whenever the Son of Man should rise from the dead. And they kept the saying, discussing among themselves what is it to rise from the dead. And they were questioning him, saying, Why are the scribes saying that it is necessary for Elias to come first? And he answered and said to them, Elias indeed, having come first, restoreth all things. And how hath it been written concerning the Son of Man, that he should suffer many things, and be set at naught? But I say to you that Elias also hath come, and they did to him as much as they wished, even as it hath been written concerning him. And having come to the disciples, he saw a great crowd around them, and scribes disputing with them. And straightway all the crowd, after they saw him, were amazed. And running to him, they were greeting him. And he questioned the scribes, What are you disputing with them? And one out of the crowd answered and said, Teacher, I brought to thee my son who hath a dumb spirit. And wheresoever it overtaketh him, it rendeth him, and he foameth and gnasheth his teeth, and is withering away. And I spoke to thy disciples that they should cast it out, and they did not have the strength. And he answereth and saith, O unbelieving generation, until when shall I be with you? Until when shall I bear with you? Bring him to me. And they brought him to him. And having seen him, straightway the spirit convulsed him, and he fell on the ground and was rolling about foaming. And he asked his father, How long a time is it since this hath happened to him? And he said, From childhood. And oft times it casteth him both into fire and into water, in order that it might destroy him. But if thou art able to do anything, have compassion upon us and help us. And Jesus said to him, As to thee, if thou art able to believe, all things can be to the one who believeth. And straightway the father of the little child cried out with tears and was saying, I believe, O Lord, help thou mine unbelief. And after Jesus saw that a crowd was running together, he rebuked the spirit, the unclean one, saying to it, Thou dumb and deaf spirit, I commandeth thee, come out of him, and enter no more into him. And the spirit cried out and convulsed him much, and came out. And he became as if he were one dead, insomuch that many said, He died. But Jesus took hold of his hand and raised him up, and he arose. And after he entered into a house, his disciples were questioning him privately, Why were we not able to cast it out? And he said to them, This kind can come forth by nothing, except by prayer and fasting. And having gone forth from that place, they were passing by through Galilee, and he was not willing that anyone should know it. For he was teaching his disciples and was saying to them, The Son of Man is being delivered into the hands of men, and they shall kill him. And having been killed, he shall raise himself the 3rd day. But they were not understanding the saying, and were fearing to question him. And he came to Capernaum, and when he was in the house, he was questioning them, What were you discussing among yourselves on the way? But they were keeping silent, for on the way they discussed with one another who was greater. And he sat down and called the 12, and saith to them, If anyone doth wish to be first, he shall be last of all, and servant of all. And he took a little child, and set him in their midst. And after he took him into his arms, he said to them, Whosoever shall receive one of such little children in my name, receiveth me. And whosoever shall receive me, receiveth not me, but the one who sent me forth. And John answered him, saying, Teacher, we saw someone who doth not follow us casting out demons in thy name, and we hindered him, because he doth not follow us. But Jesus said, Cease hindering him, For there is no one who shall do a work of power in my name, and be able quickly to speak evil of me. For he who is not against us is for us. For whosoever shall give you a cup of water to drink in my name, because ye are of Christ, verily I say to you, in no wise shall he lose his reward. And whosoever shall cause one of the little ones who believe in me to stumble, it is better for him rather if a millstone were put around his neck, and he were cast into the sea. And if thy hand should cause thee to stumble, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed, than having 2 hands to go away into the Gehenna, into the fire, the unquenchable one, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. And if thy foot should cause thee to stumble, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life lame, than having 2 feet to be cast into the Gehenna, into the fire, the unquenchable one, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. And if thine eye should cause thee to stumble, pluck it out. It is better for thee to enter into the kingdom of God one-eyed, than having 2 eyes to be cast into the Gehenna of the fire, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. For everyone shall be salted with fire, and every sacrifice shall be salted with salt. The salt is good, but if the salt should become saltless, with what will ye season it? Be having salt in yourselves, and keeping peace with one another.